Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert. Since last episode, I have been very busy. I have been very busy, as you can see down there. Basically, I've been working on the Thaumcraft area, and it has been a very expensive, time. So, I've been digging this out, and kind of giving this kind of a natural overhaul, so it's, it's not so blocky and stuff. Over here, this is our Thaumcraft area so far. It's kind of a mess at the moment. Things are going to get organized as time goes on. I've got, this is just chiseled glass, magenta stained panes. Then I did a little bit of chisel work here to kind of hold this back. This is UU matter, so we have regeneration 2, like when we're pretty much around this, because it actually, it gives us regen 2 up through that glass, also standing here sometimes. I think it's when we get like right up on the edge of it or something. This has been very much a work in progress. So lots of mushrooms. These are actually the glow shrooms. These are actually brown mushrooms, but these are the glow shroom blocks from the Twilight Forest. Gathered all this stuff with Silk Touch. And we have some brown mushrooms and some red mushrooms. And this is kind of like a mushroom hollow area. And then some root blocks. I'm going to need a lot of root blocks. I'm going to need a lot of living wood. To really finish this area out, I really need to get living wood automated, because it's going to be a lot of living wood and glimmering living wood and some roots throughout, and all this kind of shaped up so it kind of looks like, lots of wood, lots of roots, lots of mushrooms, almost like the inside of like a big tree, down at the bottom of, the world. So it's just kind of like an overgrown mushroomy type area. And then I'm going to dig this direction out a bit more as well. I'm going to dig that out and continue working on this. Now right down here we have, I've been looking for this stuff for a while. This is Helium from Quartz. It spawns in little, well, I say little, they're actually a decent size, but they're not terribly common. They're like Helium little biomes underground from Quartz. And they're based off of course, the mushroom biomes on Terraria. And I've been looking for this because a lot of this lower section is going to be Helium. This is around Y10. A lot of Helium down through here, and then it's going to continue on out into that main cavern area. And then kind of run down through there. For most of it, not all of it, but a lot of it will be Helium. So, but yeah, this is the Thaumcraft theme that I'm going with, and I built this little area out here because, of course, this is where we're going to fight the Guardian of Gaia, and then we'll be able to kind of just overlook down into the Thaumcraft area. That's going to be, out in this section, and then I still have to build the Blood Magic and Astral Sorcery area, and then we'll have all of our magical areas. Very much a work in progress. So much clearing because all this is being hand cleared with the hammer. And then I've still got to shape up a little bit of this, but it's a whole lot of work. Also, whenever you're setting up the mushroom blocks, use the wooden wrench and you can rotate and get the different textures. So, because if you place down a brown mushroom, normally you're going to get this, but if you hit it with a wooden wrench, it'll change it and you'll get this. And the same way with the mush glooms. Also, if you did not see my note on last episode, I cut down on the infusion stuff. We just have 12 candles around the Arcane pedestals. And that is the maximum that's allowed. Apparently, the version of Thaumcraft that I had played around with before, you could put just like however much infusion stuff you wanted to. That's no longer the case. It was actually like an issue in the code. You weren't supposed to be able to put more than like 12. Or back then I think it was 10. But now it's 12 like occult stabilization items. So I did change that out. So anyways, but yeah, most of this we're not going to be able to really get it all nailed down until we get living wood automated. Because it's just, I'm not going to mine up all that living wood for all of it, manual make all that living wood. Because it's going to be terrible. Also, there's a lot of mob spawns in this area right now. That won't be an issue long term. Right now it is kind of an issue. So, okay, so anyways. What we're going to be working on today, at long last, we're going to start moving into Infusion. We left off last episode, we were messing around with some riffs over at the island, and we had done a bit of our alchemy stuff. Now it's time that we start Infusion. And I think the first thing that we should do when it comes to Infusion is, what does it take to make the runic matrix? I can't remember. I could actually benefit from having 2 of these. Just a piece of nitor. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to make an extra runic matrix. So there's that. I mean, these things are crazy cheap, so not a concern. And then I'm going to go ahead and make an extra arcane pedestal. And let's see. Actually, I think I could pull this off with just 1 arcane pedestal. And then I'll grab a piece of Salus Mundus. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to do an infusion. And can I do... Does this work? Yes. Okay. Let's do... Let's see. Ignis V Crystal. I can make a Salus Mundus and a seed. Okay, we're going to try this. Because what I want to do is I want to get a really unstable infusion. Is the very first thing I want to do. Before we actually even get into much infusion, I want to go straight for instability. And we're going to do it on our island, of course. Let me go ahead. I'm not for sure if I'm going to have the seed. I've never done this before. Like what I'm about to do, but we're going to give it a shot here. So, this will just save us a little bit of a headache later on. So let's just come out over here. Let's go ahead and set up a runic altar. And set it up right in here. Runic matrix right there. Our pedestal setting right there. Let's go ahead and hit it with some Salus Mundus. And then let's grab our Caster's Gauntlet and activate this. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we're going to see if this will work. If I just put the Ignis Crystal on here, and we activate it. Okay, yeah, I think I actually do have to have the items, which is fine. Oh, but you know what? Okay, I've got to hop back over because I don't have an arcane crafting table here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and toss down just a couple altars. We're going to make sure they're not symmetrical. Toss our seeds down, toss our Salus Mundus down, and right-click that. And the infusion is starting. And let me go ahead and grab our armor. It says unstable, dangerously unstable. Okay, so things are not going good with this, as you can tell. It's not going good at all. I should study infusion instability further. Okay, that's what I want. And if we open this up, we should have, under Arcane Infusion, Infusion Stabilization. That's what I want. And we're going to go ahead and just break that. So we'll go ahead and break this too. And look, we got Fibrous Taint. Okay, and I'm just going to leave that Infusion Pillars there. Oh, and I got Flux Flu. Okay, I'm gonna wait this off before I go back because I don't want to have any like negative effects over there. By the way, we do have another rift up here. I noticed this one's actually a bit bigger. This is a decent sized rift right here, and so it's going to be eating through this tree a bit, to say the least. Whenever we make our Causality collapser, that's going to be the one that we want to hit because the larger the rift, the more void seeds you tend to get. I think it is still a little bit random, but we should have a pretty good shot at getting quite a few void seeds off of that rift. So, I mean, I've seen a lot larger ones, but that one's decent size. Okay, so we're going to need a piece of redstone and a vial of vidium, which I've actually got, let's go ahead, I may not need that stuff, 101 vidium. That was from, if you recall, I mentioned running those... oh, what are they called? Little red things. Carbonite, yeah. Carbonite. I ran a bit of that stuff, so I've got some other aspects here. Okay, so now that we've got that stuff, let's go ahead and we can complete our infusion stabilization research. And now we can craft infusion stabilizers. These are crafted like so. They're fairly cheap. They do require this complex arcane mechanisms, which require simple arcane mechanisms, but these aren't terribly expensive. So I'm going to go ahead and craft up a few of these. Right now, I think we can get by with just, I don't know, maybe just a couple. But we are going to eventually want quite a few of these. So I think for right now, I'm going to start with, I'll go ahead and make like 5, maybe. Which I will need some more alchemical brass. So I'm going to go craft up a little bit of that. We're going to get into a lot easier alchemy here soon. But for right now, I'm still doing it kind of the old-fashioned way. For a little bit longer. Okay, so for the first part, we're going to need to get ourselves 10 simple arcane machines. Right? Yeah. 10 simple arcane machines. And then we're going to take those, combine them together. I made too many Thaumium plates. It's fine. I'm going to need them later. Because we're going to need a bunch more of these anyways. And then we're going to get complex arcane mechanisms. And then if we take those, and let me look at the recipe again here. Okay, redstone nether quartz. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to take our brass plates, our blocks of redstone, nether quartz, and our complex arcane mechanisms, and then some iron. And then we can make our stabilizers. And they're 200V apiece. So I'm not going to want to craft all of them with a shift click just yet. Okay, it's restoring itself pretty quick, so we should be all right. I'm going to let it get up to about 350. There we go. Okay. Luckily, it restores itself pretty quick whenever it gets really low like that. Okay, so we got 5 stabilizers, and I'm actually surprised these aren't in the quest book. You pretty much have to have these if you're going to do any infusion in Thaumcraft. So, you pretty much have to have them. Like, it's just a necessity. Okay, so we've got those, and then the next thing that I want to get, there's actually a quest. The first quest here is for the speed stones. So we're going to go ahead and make the one of the speed stones, but what I actually want are cost stones. So speed stones are Nitor, Diamond Block, Arcane Stone. Cost stones are Arcane Stone, Alumentum, and blocks of diamond. Okay, well I've got enough alumentum to make 2, and that'll be good for right now. These things do require a bit of V, so I'm going to craft them bit by bit. But basically what they do is you can put up to 4 of these per infusion altar, and the speed ones will increase the speed of the infusion, so it's going to make it faster, but it's going to increase the cost on V for the crafts. The cost is actually going to decrease the cost on V, but it's going to slow everything down. But the cost also has an added effect in that since it slows it down, it slows down the instability process, so it makes the stabilizers more effective. So I don't mind if our infusion altar is not just kicking out items. I mean, if the time comes that we need something really fast, we'll address that then. But right now I just want stable infusions. I don't want instability issues and all that mess. I don't want to deal with it. So let's go ahead and lay this out. And first up, we're going to craft our... I'm actually not wearing my armor. That would help a little bit with all these high cost stuff. Okay, so first up, we're going to go ahead and get our infusion speedstone. There we go. And then we're going to have to give this a little while to recharge. So I'm going to give this just a bit. Just a bit to recharge. I'm not in any kind of rush because we got to set up our stabilizers. Okay, let's go ahead and get ourselves a loot chest. There we go. And this is at 568. I could probably craft another one. Let's go ahead and do that now. This is for the infusion cost stone. And we should get another quest complete. There we go. Infusion cost stone, and we'll go ahead and grab a loot chest from that. And the speed stone I'm not going to use at all right now. I'm just going to put that away. But the cost stone we are going to use. Our first loot chest we got 8 poteen. And then next up we got a music disc reward. Okay, those are both pretty bad rewards. I'd say what, our cost stone is craftable. We'll go ahead and get that, whatever. Okay, so we've got 2 of those. That's great. And let's go ahead and pop down underneath this. And what we're going to do with our cost stones is we're going to pull up. See, that's the very center of this. And if we pull up right there, there's an infusion pillar. There's an infusion pillar. There's an infusion pillar. And right there's an infusion pillar. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our cost stones and we're just going to put these down. We'll put one right there and one right there. You don't have to stabilize these or, make it symmetrical. You could put both of them on one side. It's not going to matter. They're not a stability thing. They just go under here. And then we'll eventually probably get 2 more cost stones. It's just going to make it a little bit more stable for us. Plus, it's going to make our Essentia go a lot further. So it's just going to make Thaumcraft a lot easier. Not as fast, but a whole lot easier. And a lot more stable. Okay, so now we need to get into our stabilizers. And basically the stabilizers, they have to face directly into the runic matrix. And so you can put one on the north, south, east, and west facing, you know, away from it, and then one's above it as well. But you can't put one below it because you have the Arcane pedestal there. So of course you're not going to be able to put stabilizers there. And these have a maximum range of 8 blocks. There we go. We want them facing directly into the runic matrix. And then the nice thing is these can actually shoot through each other. So you have a max range of 8. So, you know, 8 in this direction, 8 in this direction, 8 and 8. And I believe vertical is 8 as well. So technically we could put 8 stabilizers on each side. And then 8 on the top. So you're talking about 40 stabilizers if you want maximum stabilization. Okay, but this is kind of where Thaumcraft gets a little bit weird. These stabilizers require RF. Thaumcraft does include its own way to make RF, and that is, I believe it's the V generator or something like that, right? Yeah, I believe it's this. And I never really use it. But basically, it drains aura from the chunk that you're in and creates RF, and it's a piddly amount of RF. It's really, really bad. I think at best it produces like 10 RF per tick, and you have to be careful because it'll drain your chunk, so you got to make V batteries and store up aura, and it's just kind of a mess. So, and honestly, 10 RF per tick isn't very much in a stabilizer. It's not a whole lot. So we're going to go with other RF means. And the nice thing is, like I said, these things can fire through each other. So we're going to put down another one setting like right there. Now, eventually what I would like to do is have, I would like to have this all set up with phantom faces, like energy phantom faces, but, or draconic evolution power supply, that would work as well. But for now, we don't have access to that, so we're just going to do something super simple with it. We're just going to do RTGs. It's going to be ugly, it's going to be blocky, but it'll be fine. So this is going to be really, really fancy. We're going to put an RTG setting there, one setting right there. You can see it's feeding that stabilizer. And those two are getting fed. And then we'll drop down one right there. And then I'm going to have to give this one some power, so we'll just do that and that. Okay. That'll work for now. Like I said, eventually we're going to get phantom faces up and going, and we're not going to have RTGs or conduits or anything up here. I find it, this is one of the things that that's boggled my mind ever since like the new version of Thaumcraft, is why do we need RF for this? It doesn't make any sense at all, but whatever. It's bizarre. And if you don't have like some kind of wireless energy transfer, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it can look alright, but it's still odd. It's still odd when you have energy stuff around your altar, but okay, but you can see it says very stable now. That's what we want to see. So this infusion altar is currently very stable. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do our first actual infusion. I want to make the blank advanced focus. This is with a blank lesser focus, 2 quicksilver, a diamond, an ender pearl. Then we're going to need 25 percantio and ordo, and 50 ordo, which I think we've probably got that. We've got 91 percantio. We have 138 ordo. Actually, I've got the blank lesser focus already made. And then we just need 2 diamonds and 2 quicksilver. And then we're going to give this a shot. Now, like I said, basically the what's going to happen is the stabilizers are going to, they're going to use RF. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple extra like diamonds. And I'll grab a couple extra quicksilver just in case something happens and something gets destroyed. That way we have extras. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay this out. So our blank lesser focus right there. I'm going to go ahead and put on my Thaumcraft stuff so I can watch the runic matrix. And Then we'll do Quicksilver, Diamond. Okay. And we're pretty much all set to try and make this. Now, what's going to happen, basically, is as this runs, the candles are going to provide a very minute amount of stability per tick to the runic matrix. The stabilizers are going to provide quite a bit of stabilization to the runic matrix per tick. And then what's going to happen is every tick, it's going to do a little bit of the progress. It's going to, get some Essentia, or it's going to work on absorbing an item, and a little bit of instability will get generated based on It's based on mainly like making sure everything is symmetrical. There's no instability around. There's all the items are on here. It's getting the Essentia that it needs, things like that. But it is going to generate a little bit of instability. And in this version of Thaumcraft, it's very, very important that you have these stabilizers. Otherwise, things are going to go bad. Even with like if I didn't have the stabilizers, even something that is, for example, minor instability is going to be horrible to craft. Like, absolutely horrible. And even with some stabilizers, it can get pretty bad. So we have those cost stones because basically it slows down the whole process, causing the instability gain to be lowered, per tick. But the stabilizers, they still pump out as much stability as normal. So we're slowing down the process of the runic matrix, but stabilizers are staying the same. So the stabilizers are going to get basically a big bump in power. They're going to become a lot stronger because everything else is kind of running in slow motion and they are normal speed. So kind of like the Flash. Think of it like the Flash. is basically what we're not exactly the Flash, but kind of like the Flash, like Turtle Man. If you watch the Flash show, it's like Turtle Man. But anyways, let's go ahead and start this up, and we're going to see how it runs. Oh wait, it's not 2 diamonds. It's a diamond and ender pearl. I was like, man, this isn't starting. What's going on? I need an ender pearl. Derp. Okay, ender pearl is down. Let's try this again. Here we go. There we go. You can see it's 48 ordo, and it was like 20-something per Cantio. And right now it's bouncing between stable and very stable. But it's not going below that. As long as it stays at stable and very stable, we're good. If it starts dropping to like unstable, then we're going to be bad. As long as it stays stable and very stable, we shouldn't have anything happen, really. For the most part, I don't think any items are going to bounce off or anything, because that's generally caused by instability, and we have a very, very stable infusion going on right here. Okay, we're still stable, very stable. All these are like, yeah, they're using power like they should. Okay, it should be absorbing the items. There goes, yeah. All it's got left is the diamond and pow. There we go. That was very uneventful. If we didn't have the stabilizers here, it would have been very eventful. It would have been very bad, like what we did just a minute ago. Okay, so we got a blank advanced focus, and we should get a quest complete. There we go. And let's go ahead and turn that in right there. And we'll get ourselves a loot chest. And what did we get? Another color block crafter. Okay, that has no use to us. But now we should be able to, the advanced foci right here, we should be able to complete this. And there we go, research completed. Now we still have to make the top tier focus, which I don't remember. I believe that comes from the Eldritch line, maybe? Maybe so? I think so. But anyways, the next thing that we need to craft, I think, is going to be, I guess, the Causality Collapser. But this is a very high instability. So I think what I'm going to do, we need Nitor, we need the Morphic Resonator, which is easy to craft. Redstone, I mean, it's all cheap. And then we need Vidium and Alienist. And it just so happens I've got 91 Vidium right here. Alienist I don't think I have, actually. Now, I'll have to get some Alienist, it looks like. But that's not a big deal. Yeah, that's not a big deal at all. That's just Ender Pearls. Okay, so just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead. I mean, that was a minor instability. And then what it's... there's negligible, minor, medium, high, very high. And then there's like the crazy ones, you know. But I think, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and craft up like 7 more. Yeah, I'll make 7 more stabilizers, and honestly, I think with 7 more stabilizers, it's going to be hard. And I might actually go ahead and craft up 2 more of those cost stones as well. Those make such a huge difference, like they really do. So I'll probably craft up 2 more of those cost stones and put those down there, and then maybe craft up... oh, I don't even know if I need 7. I'll go ahead and craft 7 more stabilizers. It's no biggie. So give me just a bit. I'll be back in a little while once I get all that stuff crafted up, and we're going to try for a Causality Collapser. Okay, I got all this stuff changed over. So we have, under here we have 4 cost stones. Right there. And then we've got, altogether, 12 stabilizers. And I did upgrade this. I went ahead and I ran the conduits up. These, of course, just being temporary until we get Draconic Evolution or Phantom Faces or something like that. So, Plutonium RTGs right up here. I guess technically I could... Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll just lay them out like that. I hate having those by the altar, but it's kind of a necessity. Alright, so anyways, that is going to give us quite a bit of power generation. It should be enough to run all of this, no problem. Because if I recall, I want to say these stabilizers can use up to 100 RF per tick, and we're producing like 1500, so that should be good. And then I also got our Alienus Essentia right there. Okay, so let's take a look at the Causality Collapser. So we're going to need the Vidium and Alienus we've got. The V Resonator is not a problem. I have some of those over there. Nitor, I'm going to need 2 of those, and 2 Alumentum. I actually might have to make some Nitor. Yeah, it looks like I need to make some Nitor really, really quick. Okay, so I think I've got everything ready. And here we go. So TNT goes down in the middle. And then we're going to need to place down Morphic Resonator, V Resonator, and then we're going to need the blocks of redstone right there and right there. And then we need Alumentum and then Nitor. That. Okay, there is everything. And then we need our Caster's Gauntlet. And we will start this. By the way, the server just restarted and it changed my UU matter into water. Oh, and this is infused grass from Botania, by the way. You craft the infused seed, and then you can craft the infused grass if you just right-click it down. Alright, let's give this a shot. And hopefully, ideally, we're going to see a very stable infusion the whole time. Of course, this is very high instability. So cross your fingers. Let's hope this works. Right now, everything's looking good. And with the 4 V cost stones, I don't foresee it being too bad. Or cost stones. I mean, it's very stable, like solid. Of course, the longer the infusion goes on, the more unstable it starts to become. But with it slowed down this much, and with 12 infusers, which might be a little bit overkill, I don't know, but I think we're okay. Long term, what I would like to have is a bunch of these infusers. I actually have a plan to implement them into the build, so they don't look so out of place. I just need the yeah. See, we're still very stable. And moving into collecting the items, which is fairly easy to do. Look at that. It's just sending the stuff over, and it's stable, very stable. Honestly, with this setup, we could probably do like the highest instability without issues. Now, long term, I would like to have speed stones down there, like 4 speed stones, but I'm going to need more stabilizers before I can do that. So, long term, that's our plan, but for now, this will be good. There is our Causality Collapser. Awesome. Go ahead and scan that. I did make a bit extra on everything. So, you know what? I might actually go ahead and craft up 2 of them. It wouldn't hurt to have 2. And with how stable that was, I don't think I have to worry about having extras of anything. So yeah, let me get another piece of TNT. And we'll just go ahead and craft another one. Oh wait, I'm going to need more alienus and Vidium though. Right? I'll probably do it later. I don't feel like melting that stuff down. Because the V-cost stones didn't do a whole lot. I mean, I've got 8 alienus. I've got 45 Vidium. Yeah, I would need a little bit more of each of those. So I'll just mess with that later. But anyways, we crafted the Causality Collapser, which I know can cause issues. Like, if you don't have really good stabilization, that thing can get pretty nasty once you get into, like, the very high instability. But see, as long as you prepare for it, it's not difficult. In the least. It's not difficult at all. By the way, we do have a new rift sitting right here. So, I'm actually going to pull up my infinite water source and my crucible for right now. Just in case that thing gets happy and starts wanting to eat everything. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our Causality Collapser and just come up near this rift and just toss it. And there we go. It's going to destroy it, and we got some temporary warp, and look at that. We got 9 void seeds from that. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. And I got taint poison, which means I'm going to take a little bit of damage. No biggie. Okay, we did complete a quest. Let's grab this. And the void seed quest. Let's go ahead, loot chest it. And what did we get? Hopefully something good. 2 nether wart blocks. I'm just going to trash that. Okay. Totally don't even need that. Alright, so if we take our thermometer and we scan the void seed, we've learned something new, and we should be able to complete delving into the Eldritch. Now this is Taboo Warp, which means we're going to get a bit of warp from this. Let's go ahead and... my sanity checker's put away. Okay, I'm going to wait this taint poison out. But see, this version of Thaumcraft, super simple if you're careful. If you're not careful, it's going to get bad. Okay, so right now my sanity is pretty awful at the moment. And we're about to do a taboo level research. So that's what it looks like. We're about to get really insane here. Delving into the Eldritch, let's go ahead and complete that. Let's pull the trigger on that. I found something strange, something that doesn't quite fit the rules that reality and reason has set for us. I do not believe this seed comes from our reality at all. It comes from somewhere outside. I must study this further. I must. Okay, and we got a new tab here, the Eldritch tab. And if we take a look at our sanity, it actually hasn't moved that much. So that's not too bad. We're still pretty much insane, though, at the moment. Okay, so the Eldritch tab. First up, we have Void Seeds. I'm going to need a Theory in Alchemy, Fundamentals, and Eldritch. And we're going to get minor level warp from that. Okay, so give me a minute. I've got to do some research in the research table. Let me pop up and get some spare paper and stuff. And I'll be back here in just a minute. Okay, I unlocked Void Seeds. And they have given us access to Void Metal Ingots and Void Armor. And tools and all that stuff. So we do have access to that. To make Void Metal Ingots, it's a Void Seed, 10 Metallum, 5 Vidium, makes Void Metal. Not too bad. We could pull that off pretty easily. Now there's also the Primal Crusher, the Void Seer's Pearl, the Void Thaumaturge Armor, and the Void Siphon. I do want the Void Siphon. These all require just an Observation in Eldritch and a Theory in Eldritch. We have 2 Theories in Eldritch right now and plenty of Observations. So Observation's not too much of an issue. So I want to go ahead and get the Void Siphon. This is actually kind of nice. You can put it near... rifts, and you can make void seeds. So you can keep your rifts alive and get void seeds from them. So I do want that. And let's see, what does it take to make this? Nether Star, it's high instability. Well, that's not going to be an issue. A block of void metal, complex arcane mechanism. Okay, and then just that stuff. Alright. And you feel oddly drained. Flux phase 4. Okay, so I want to make some void metal. Is what I want to make right now. And once again, to do that, it was a little bit of metallum, right? We can actually do it with mana dust as well. But we don't have mana dust at the moment. So it was 10 metallum, 5 Vidium to do this. That's actually pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get vials. And we're going to go ahead and get a vial of Vidium and a vial of metallum. Next episode, we're going to get into, like, advanced alchemy. I promise. That's what we're going to be doing. So, and this is from when I was doing some research. Like, next episode, I want to get into advanced alchemy and the void siphon, and probably set up the flux cleaning. Like, this stuff right here, which I think, yeah, this is actually super simple to craft. Like, super simple to craft at this point. Oh, but we're going to have to get into mirror magic. We'll get into a bit of that stuff next episode. I don't know how much. We've still got a bit more Thaumcraft. We're getting into, like, the juicy part, where life gets really easy now. And actually, since I've got a full vial of Vidium, I should probably go ahead and get another vial of metallum. Which actually a bucket has metallum. So I'm just going to use a bucket. I don't feel like going all the way back over to the base for a little bit of metallum. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll toss in... Well, actually, I don't need this then. I can just toss in the bucket. So bucket, vial of Vidium, and we'll get a couple void metals, or void ingots. Okay. Okay, and our insanity is going higher and higher right now. Let's go ahead and scan this. Void metal ingot. And now we should be able to... Let's see, where was that? Alchemy. Oh yeah, we need a void metal plate. Alright, so we'll just pop over here. Let's run it through the metal former. Pow. And then we can complete our research on the void metal Essentia smelter. There we go. I'm pleased with the results of my testing. I expect the void metal smeltery will work much like the basic smeltery, but it's roughly 95% efficiency instead of 80%. Should break down Essentia slurry slightly quicker than the basic smelter, but not nearly as fast as the Thorium smeltery. That's okay, because we're going to be running... Well, we've got one bellows attached to that, right? And then we're also going to start running alumentum through that. So, but the void metal Essentia smelter requires the advanced alchemical construct, 5 of the void metal plates, brass plates. This is alchemical constructs, primordial nodule, which you can get from a primordial pearl, and then we need void metal plates. 100% in Engolomancy. Oh, because we got this. Examine void metal. We'll go ahead and complete that. Okay, I got a little bit more... I got 2 more Eldritch theories. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Void Thaumaturge armor and the Void Seer's Pearl. And this requires Primordial Pearl or Primordial Nodule. And okay, that's fine. Primordial Pearls. Because we've got 2 things here that we're going to need those for. Right, we're going to need them for that, and the Void Metal Essentia Smelter requires it as well. And basically, a Primordial Pearl has 8 durability, and every time that you craft something with it, it takes 1 durability. So, at best, if you have like a full pearl, you got 8 uses on it. But these things are super rare at this point. We've got Unnatural Hunger. Okay, let me go deal with that real quick. I swear, we're going to be getting, like, negative effects, like, constant. But, oh, yeah. Oops. Oh, now I've got this. I should have waited to eat. I'm just so used to, like, popping food. I've got some rotten flesh here, though. The thing is, our insanity is so bad, we're going to be getting, like, non-stop negative effects, like, all the time. I may need to make, like a Thorium faceplate. I do have that research, I believe. The Grinning Devil faceplate is what I would need. But I also need to just wash myself with some bath salts and maybe get rid of get rid of some of this temporary warp, because I mean, that's a lot of it. It's just temporary warp from blowing up that rift. There we go. And we gained some temporary warp. Yay! But yeah, we'll have 100% of the Eldritch tab unlocked. But the what I was saying, anyways, is the Primordial Nodule, the Primordial Pearl. To get that, what we're going to have to do, you have a chance to get, if I recall, it's just a nodule. So it's like 3 or 4 uses. Still not too bad, but there is a chance you can get those whenever you blow up the rifts with the Causality Collapser. So basically, I'm going to have to run around and just blow up rifts, more or less. Now, we also need to get the Void Siphon set up. We'll get this probably set up next episode. It's not that expensive, really. It just basically, I just need to get a bunch of Void Metal. So I'm going to need more Void Seeds. And then we can get this set up, and it's basically going to give us like passive Void Seeds. So that'll be super useful. But honestly, the hardest part of Thaumcraft is out of the way, and now it's just kind of like reaping the benefits and refining a lot of our stuff. So next episode, and I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, but next episode we are going to get the Void Siphon up and going for sure. And we're also going to get into the Advanced Alchemy finally. I've been putting it off because it wasn't a necessity. Now it's a bit more important that we get that. So we're going to get the Alchemical Automation, you know, the Mystical Construct, you know. We're going to get that set up and start setting up some recipes and maybe get into some mirror magic. And whenever we get into mirror magic, then we'll probably move those jars out of the middle of our Thaumcraft room and have those kind of cleaned up a bit, which will be pretty useful. Honestly, as far as our runic matrix goes, I think this is about as stable as we're going to need. 12 stabilizers and 4 cost stones. I think that should be good. Long term, we may change to 4 speed stones and up the amount of stabilizers, but it's not really necessary at the moment. And it really all depends on how much infusion we're actually going to be doing as the pack progresses. Because I haven't noticed anything at the moment anyways, that we're going to be just running the infusion thing constantly. So we'll just kind of wait and see as time goes on. But at least we got the Eldritch tab unlocked, and Thaumcraft is kind of opened unto us at this point. And I need to finish up the rest of this research between episodes. Just kind of clean up what we have available to unlock, and then the rest of it's going to come from like scanning things and just doing different things. Most of it's some of the stuff we need to get. We need to get the advanced nodes and stuff like that. And also, oh yeah, the Void Metal Ingot. We completed this quest. Let's go ahead and claim that. We really don't have that many quests in here. This, we've already kind of started on this, and we'll do that at some point. It's not that important right now. This we'll do next episode. We will get into golems at some point. This we'll end up getting, and this is just all armor. Which really we could knock out the Thaumium armor. We can go ahead and do this. This is simple. So we actually have just enough Thaumium, so it kind of works out here. And that. And that. And quest complete. Go. And we'll grab a loot chest. And then we have to get the fortress armor, which that's a little bit more expensive. Let's see, what does it take in here? I don't think it's actually that bad. Thaumium plates, yeah, look at that. I mean, it's cheap. That's not too bad. We'll probably knock that out at some point as well. And then we have to make the void armor. That's a little bit more expensive. But okay, our loot chest. We got, first up, 16 charge quartz fixtures. That's awesome. I'll use that. And then next up, we got a helium collector. Okay, that's 10 millibuckets per tick of helium. Which normally, to craft this, I think they're a little bit expensive. Zirconium and depleted thorium. So that'll actually be pretty useful. That's not too bad of a reward. So, and we're going to be starting in a nuclear craft before too long. So, okay, I want to bring you guys back because this is actually after the episode. But I ran into my first Eldritch Guardian. Right now we're actually maxed out on Warp. So we're going to go ahead and scan him. We got a research completed Eldritch Guardian. And let's kill him off. Oh, this is actually... I'm going to use my pick. Which he does bypass armor a little bit, but it's not a big deal. There we go. Did we get anything cool from you? No. I actually just made another Causality collapser and broke that rift that was over here. Still no nodule, but I did get a bunch more void seeds. So, yay, I guess. But anyways, in our Thaumanomicon, under fundamentals, we got the Eldritch Guardian tab. And of course, they created all this fog around here as well. So they'll just randomly appear, you know, sometimes whenever you're all warped out like I am at the moment. I actually looked earlier and we are maxed out on warp. But I did finish out the Eldritch tab, so yay. Actually, everything is done that we have unlocked currently. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.